Hello and welcome to the first edition of Eyeota Audience Data Sessions. Today we're talking about how research-based audiences help marketers close the loop between campaign planning and measurement. My name is Monica and I am the Business Development Director for Germany here at Eyeota. And today I have Dorthe Jans, who's the Director of Audience Data at YouGov with me. So what is it that you will hopefully all know after our session today? Firstly, we'll talk about how research and survey data is onboarded for use in a digital marketing ecosystem. Secondly, Dorthe will take you through the opportunities research-based audiences create for enhancing the digital marketing campaign lifecycle. And finally, we'll talk about the benefits of using research-based data to achieve campaign KPIs and business outcomes through a brand case study. So before we start, just a quick introduction or perhaps a refresher on what is Eyeota. So for those of you that don't know, Eyeota is an audience technology platform that enables the intelligent use of data. We have been established almost 10 years ago with co-founders based in Singapore, Australia, and Germany. Our unique global onboarding methodology has been privacy compliant since day one, and no PII ever entered our platform. We work with agencies and brands to understand who their target market is, and then enabling reaching those specific audiences programmatically via their display and video campaigns. We provide over 25,000 audience segments that consist of 4.5 billion unique profiles. 157 million of them are in Germany, and they are derived through collaborating with over 30,000 publishers, as well as online and offline data providers. And here we are outlining some of the key platform partnerships, including the major DSPs and DMPs. Now it is my pleasure to pass it on to Dorthe, who will introduce you to the world of YouGov.
Hello, everyone. So for those of you who don't know YouGov yet, I will tell you a little bit about us. So YouGov is a global data and analytics company, and we hold panels or partner and affiliate panels in 43 countries worldwide, which allows our clients to use our data not only for national and local insights and campaigns, but compare and benchmark consumers across all these markets and use our data for international strategic planning that can be the basis for local campaigns and tactics based on the same panel and methodology. We already hold a huge amount of data that we collect about our panelists over the last, in some cases, 10 years in what we call the YouGov Cube. This data pool can be accessed via our data products, profiles, and brand index, but also supports all of our custom and omnibus work and makes it richer and more actionable for our clients. It's about 130,000 variables in Germany alone. What this then enables us and our clients to do, all this data, whether it's the syndicated data, but also the custom data that comes from one and the same panel, it creates a unique ability for them to connect the data. We can deliver a single audience view throughout the marketing workflow through planning, execution, and tracking. For example, we can build a custom audience in YouGov profiles and analyze them in all depth and breadth to really get to know the audience. These previously defined audiences can then be pushed into the digital ecosystem via our partners like Eyeota for the targeting. Thereby translating a marketing target group into a media target group becomes almost unnecessary, and no granularity from the planning phase is lost throughout the workflow. Last but not least, the client can then track the same segment in follow-up surveys to determine the success of the campaign. And the connected data approach thereby enables brands and agencies to look at a campaign and brand health metrics overall, but also filter on audiences defined in the planning phase as they want to determine how metrics changed over the course or after the campaign. In many cases, we still see that clients are doing this using multiple data sources along this process, which often leads to a lot of waste when media target groups are a lot broader than the initially planned audiences, and success is measured within yet another proxy. All of this is possible worldwide. As you can see here, YouGov has its own panels, but also partner and affiliate panels globally. So we enable clients to really use this data for international work as well.
Thank you, Dorothy. Now let's talk about how Eyeota and YouGov actually works together and transforms this wealth of data for digital advertising. Firstly, a bit of history. Eyeota and YouGov have started working together back in 2016, and our partnership now extends through a number of markets, not only Germany, but also UK, US, France, and a number of APAC countries. Over 1,000 YouGov audiences are available to buy off the shelf via all major DSP platforms. And there's also an opportunity to create very granular brand-level custom audiences. Now, this slide talks about the process that our teams go through to bring all of this to life. Firstly, YouGov derives their opinion data from highly participative online panels of 8 million respondents globally. Then these files are stripped out of any personal information to ensure full compliance and passed to Eyeota on a weekly basis. Next, our data operations team feeds the seed audience into our statistical models, which in turn scale them out based on various attributes that we already know about these users. And finally, those audiences are pushed into all of the beforehand mentioned DSPs and DMPs for you guys to use for modeling, insights, and activation. The result is a wealth of granular audiences such as demographics, attitudes, affinities, current consumption, and brand ownership segments. Here on the screen, you can see some of the examples of our standard audiences that already exist in Germany. The beauty of research data is that it also creates the opportunity for marketers to start from scratch and build custom and bespoke audiences, which Dorothy will talk about in a minute.
Yes, so also for us, having a partnership like the one with Eyeota creates a lot of value for us and our clients, because we know a lot about a comparably small size of people worldwide, but our partners know a lot of people worldwide, yet only a few characteristics of them, and only technically measurable and publicly available information. Bringing these two assets together enables us to scale these audiences to create meaningful reach and then distribute to target digital advertising. And it nicely fits into our existing portfolio as well. We offer two approaches with Eyeota that you can see here. So we have the based on audiences that are pre-scaled and available in open marketplaces for anyone to buy right now. You've seen some examples before, and these audiences are based on our profiles data and are frequently updated. We do also specialize in custom-built segments based on campaign or brand-specific needs that we will make available to the brand or the agency exclusively. This can be done using existing YouGov data or collect from scratch. It takes about 3 weeks once the data is available to be sent to Eyeota for the modeling and pushed to the DSP, and then the potential taxonomy is almost limitless. You can see here how the profiles dashboard looks like, and the profiles enables our clients to find out more about the target audience once they've defined them, find out how, when, and where to reach them best, and to create most relevance with the campaign. But you can also create different approaches for different sub-audiences and thereby make sure each one is reached in the best way to fit campaign objectives and achieve business outcomes. So for example, you could look at current customers with a different message than people who don't know the brand yet. The other bit that you can see here is the custom data. We can collect data from scratch if you don't find the right data in profiles, using our online panel to send a bespoke survey to them, or then even go a step further and create a custom segmentation for your client-specific needs. Also, these audiences can then be pushed to Eyeota and made available for targeting. In order to fill this with a little bit more life, we would like to show you a little case study that nicely showcases how this can be done in practice. So we had a client who was looking to gain a better understanding of the market they operate in and how the various audiences they attract are different from each other and how they can be reached in order to increase brand consideration, brand adoption, and certain brand attributes they want people to associate their brand with. YouGov's connected data solution then enabled them to do exactly that, and it allowed them to have this single audience view across the entire marketing workflow. We collected custom data in the YouGov panel for them, and were then able to define 6 different segments that are based on people's entertainment and media consumption habits and needs. With Eyeota, we were then able to connect these segments to our profiles data set and deliver unique insights, and then make them available via Eyeota to be bought in the digital space. This meant that the client was not only able to target these audiences individually, but also tailor the messaging and the tonality of the creative to resonate best with the audience at hand. So as you can see here, the client did exactly what I described earlier. They were able to plan the campaign, execute the campaign in the digital environment, and then also able to track the success of the campaign. On the next slide, you can actually see the results, and they were fantastic. They saw an uplift in brand consideration by 9%. The brand adoption was increased by 4%, and also these core brand attributes, they were increased by 8%, which was a great success for the client. And as you can see here, they were very happy with the approach as such, but also, of course, with the results you can see on the left-hand side.
Well, fantastic. Thank you so much, Dortha, for all these wonderful insights. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We hope that the session was insightful and useful for you guys. If you have any questions with regards to Eyeota and YouGov and how we work together, please feel free to reach out to myself and Dortha. And if you require any more tailored audience recommendations, always feel free to reach out to our audience specialist at datadesk@eyeota.com. Thank you, and speak to you guys soon.